Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dale Ronyak Ben, and a fantastic show for you. Boss Blitz just got a little more interesting, and the design of winning weapons are now in-game, and more openings at ArenaNet, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow hosts. He is moderator of an MMO champion and host of Zero to Hero on this very channel. Does anyone have a clue what is happening with Boss Blitz? What next? Dinosaurs rampaging through all of Tyria and creating some kind of Jurassic World? Say hello to Jim.
I completely endorse that idea.
There you go.
It would actually mean that the world is living and we have events happening all across Tyria instead of just, here, have a new map.
That's how we defeat them. That's how we defeat them. They get to one of the old zones and it's like, haha, you're time locked and you didn't exist then. Haha.
Oh God.
Problem solved. We already wrote the whole story. My dogs are even yelling at me. They're like, no. And he streams over on Twitch where he answers the age-old question with the idea of to kill all these bosses in a weekend. Will we see another Watchwork uprising? Say hello to Age.
That'd be nice. I think people would like it, but then like all the salt from the lanes will come back. So I don't know. It'd have to be better to compensate for that. I'm going away into much detail. Hi guys, welcome.
Oh, let us jump right into it. So this past week we had the August 7th patch, and yeah, so I guess first up was kind of like the way back. I remember I forget when we talked about it, but the design a weapon contest where I know we showed off a lot of the weapons and talked about the winners. Well, they actually finally got put in game. And these are a video from Dolphy, so thank you to Dolphy.net for showing them off. So we have the Scion's Claw, which is a sword, the Eclipse, which is a great sword, and Favor of the Colossus, which is a torch. So
Look really cool in game for sure.
I guess my question is, how much does this cost in the gem store, guys?
Well,
Nothing.
It's
You can get it in game?
Yeah, but it's not armor sets, so people are rioting.
No.
okay, so basically, for those who don't know, these are 3 weapons from the design a weapon contest, and they got put into the game, and they're put in as collections, and you could just go ahead and do them. I think you get a mail when you enter Lion's Arch that tells you to combine certain materials together in order to get it. I think the very prerequisite that you'll need is probably like just high-level crafting to make something effort, I believe, because I think one of the materials is account bound. But other than that, it's just easy, straightforward. I did it in 20 minutes. I got all 3 weapons. And then pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna actually ask because I know I've heard it over the week, and Chad is mirroring the sentiment. Is the weapons are pretty and kind of easy to obtain, and like you said, you did kind of in 20 minutes. And I'm glad Chad also brought it up. Do you think it was too easy to obtain for the level of look?
To be fair, again, I haven't had a chance to do these yet, but if it takes 20 minutes, I'm probably going to do it because I want the sword. The sword looks boss. A weapon skin? I mean, you have to make a vision. You have to be a max level character. You have to think about this from like all areas of the game. So what about someone who just hits this game and they're level 1? Like this is their first account. This is their first character. And then they find this. Like sure, a lot of us are veterans of the game. We just have these resources laying around to just be like, collection done. Like I get wanting it to be a little bit harder, but it's not like these are legendaries. They're just weapon skins. You still have to put like a max level crafting discipline into it to get it to work. So you gotta factor that in. Is what Tavik is saying. You have to make 2 lesser vision crystals. That's at least 400 crafting.
I believe so, if not 500, but I think it's 400. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually wanted to do this on my EU account, but I realized I didn't have any crafting on it, so I'm like, okay, whatever. But,
Yeah. So, like that's the only thing is like you have to include requiring the crafting to do it. So.
Yeah. You create legendaries unless that's if I prep in advance. That's
Okay. Yeah, Chad's saying you need 500 for lesser vision crystals. I was say I thought it might have been 450 because I thought it was like when you hit halfway. I thought that was one way to level it up, but I guess it was 500. Okay.
So 500. Yeah. Okay. There you go. I think if a player wants to get them, it gives incentive to actually do crafting, which really isn't that much incentive outside of like maybe just a few weapons that you really want. But no,
and I heard chat like throwing in their ideas. So which ones are you like? Well, Age went for all three, but which one were you trying to go for like first? Like, what if you only could get one or something? Which one would you have gotten?
Favorite Colossus, because there's not a lot of good torches, to be honest.
I would have gone for the sword. Like if I could only pick one, the one-handed sword, 100%.
Yeah, I probably would have went torch, greatsword, and then sword personally for me. And chat's saying sword, torch, great. Look, we're having a across the board all different types, so which is good. I mean, I think that shows that they kind of picked a good assortment of different flavors.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I won't complain at all. Like, it's like cool new weapons, and I can get them. And what's nice is that they are Corteria, I believe. Yeah, they're Corteria because it's dry top. It's what's it called?
Silver Waste.
Silver Waste.
Silver Waste and Fields of Ruin, I think it was. No, wait. Where's Ebonhawk?
That's Fields of Ruin.
I believe so. Yeah.
My brain is fried.
That all blends together for me. Like Burning Steps, Fields of Ruin.
All of Ascalon.
Okay, Chad saying Fields of Ruin.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, I mean, it's all in Corteria. So like anyone, like even a free account can go for it. So it's pretty nice.
And I'm kind of in like I'm really surprised that people were like to hear that like there are any really complaints about this. They're fan design skins. They're part of the core game. They're not super obnoxious to get.
Yeah, just
that's top notch consumer friendly products right there. So
and just run around, get your free weapons, call it a day. Like,
and are they
like Chad was saying? Each collection 7 achievement points. So if you're going after achievement points, that's an easy. Well, not an easy 21, but if you're a veteran, it's a lot more obtainable than if you're struggling to get some of those harder achievements.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so is it an exotic weapon?
Mm-hmm. It's an exotic weapon you get at the end. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not even just a skin. So
yeah, and I believe let me double check, but I believe you get the stats based on the expansion you have. I don't remember. I didn't actually choose any stats on my weapons, so
you just want that skin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Chat saying they believe it has all the stat combinations. So
Zealots, Sentinel, Saras, Vipers. Do I have a Path of Fire commanders?
And what Chad is saying is, I kind of like that.
Fires.
Like, and I've seen other people make this comment is like, Guild Wars won a lot of the kind of fan favorites were design a weapon contest skins, and I think even one or two, at least the idea of them kind of carried over to Guild Wars 2. But yeah, I kind of hope they do more of this. Like,
yeah, oh, that's pretty nice. Maybe they'll have another design a weapon contest next year, or this year for next year, like to release next year, something like that. I still kind of sad that that scimitar with like the gold blade and like the nice blue encrusted gems didn't win. It made me sad.
I gotta step it up. Design an armor contest. Come on.
Oh, I don't think.
Clipping.
I don't think. I wanted to avoid saying that, but mostly because if it's like a very complex piece that's wins, it's going to take a long time to actually make. So.
And before somebody submits a design of armor that's made out of paper, it's called the Clippers armor.
Or it's just armor that will only work on a char. They're like, finally.
Oh, that'd be cool, actually.
I don't know, like
it's called cultural armor.
Well, designing a new set of cultural armor based on stuff that's happened in the game, that'd be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know they don't like designing content anymore that's like only available to a limited subset of the player base, but like giving the Sylvari like some kind of armor that represents them resisting Mordramoth or something.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
Omicron armor set for char and things like that. That'd be kind of neat.
And Carnifex has a good point. Like watchwork armor parts for humans.
A flower thong.
I don't know if that already exists.
But actually, when we like now that we're saying that, what if they would go back and if they plan on doing multiple of these, if they did a design an armor contest, but they did like based on culture, it's like, okay, we're doing male and female Norn this contest, and you know the people that can do it that close to it, and, you know, next contest will be male and char.
So it'd be the thing is, this is where you get into the issues. Like what it's like, I played Asura, I want armor. And as we all know, it takes 9 months for an armor set to be made. So, you know,
I really have my doubts about that quote.
Look, I'm just saying what
I know,
but this is why it's gonna get really hard for them, because it's like what 5 different races times 2 genders times 3 weights, so it's like 30 sets of armor.
Well, I mean, if they want to do it if they do it that way, then I would suggest not going, okay, we're going to do, you know, the Norn armor cultural armor. Okay, we have our winners, and then they wait till that armor's out to do the next contest. Be like, literally having like kind of, and I'm sure the design team's probably like cringing right now because I'm bringing back up like the days of like the 2-week cadence of how they had it tapered with different teams. Now I don't know how big their, you know, design team is for the, you know, weapons and armor, and if they are able to taper like that to some extent to maybe make it where it's like all the races come out in a 3-month window, so you really don't have, I mean, you'll still have the people that whoever's going to be last will be like, you know, oh, why aren't we getting our armor, but that's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I just like the idea of maybe doing an armor set, and
it'd be great, but you know, there's a lot of things to weigh there.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
If they did a contest for specific races, ANet could put out a blueprint for each body type for the artist design. Yeah, and that's what I've been that's what I was thinking. That's why it would probably be better to do based on culture instead of we're just going to pick a light, medium, and heavy. That
so it's just like a bait. Okay, yeah, that's fair. So you kill that, and then would it be the same look for gender? Because then you kill that too, and then
I'd say if they're going cultural, I probably wouldn't say same gender, just because I don't know.
So just neutral armor. So then then you would have 5 distinct armors, which would be a lot easier for them.
And then you could potentially have like skins that are, because that's the one thing I've always wanted was like being able to wear like a light skin piece on like on a heavy plate wearer. Like, you know, it's like, oh, my guy's wearing like a hood or something to make it seem, you know, if that's your character you're playing. Like,
But
that's
Deo,
one.
the silhouette.
No, that doesn't matter.
The silhouette. Ugh.
That does not matter anymore.
I'm fully aware that it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, outfits like
But
horribly.
it's like when ESO announced that they were doing it, and they were just like they went to the extent of, if you have a one-handed weapon, since that's kind of put all under the same thing of their skill line, you could make your sword look like a one-handed mace or a one-handed axe skin as well. So I was like, that's awesome for, you know, someone that's playing it. But so I would, and you could also do that where it was like, if you had a helmet, if it's plate, you could skin it with a light armor piece or a medium armor piece. Which,
could I take a one-handed sword and skin it to a two-handed greatsword?
in ESO, no,
Oh,
because they're two different like basically weapon skill lines.
I want a dual-wield greatsword style.
Well, does WoW still have Titan's grip, or did they change that a long time ago?
I don't know. I don't know if it does. See, that's the one thing that I know they'll never change. Is like they'll never let you like skin a greatsword skin onto a one-handed, even if they like shrink the size to a proper amount, because it's like the weapons, your actual weapons actually mean something when you're playing against someone, because you can see the weapons and you're like, okay, that's a warrior with a sword and a shield. I know what they can do. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the icon more than the person, to be honest.
Yeah,
Well,
QED. I agree. That would be a feature I'd like, is being able to transform any armor type. But
I agree.
we kind of naturally led into there from
That'd be
all the
really
design.
cool. Yeah. It also opens up a lot more options for fashion wear.
Yeah, I'd like my Revenant to be wearing like a hood, being all mysterious like. But I don't think there's any armor or heavy armor hoods. Can't think of.
Nope.
But so, you know, maybe someday. But any final thoughts on the design a weapon contest?
Looks good. Enjoy your weapons.
Do more of it.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Also in the patch, Living World, the domain of Korna, the enemy waves attacking during the help your allies secure key positions in the Awakened Inquest facility event will no longer drop loot. Instead, an Awakened chest is now awarded after the first 2 capture points are completed. Was this being like farmed like abusively, like where people were like, don't succeed or something?
I don't know. Help your allies secure key position in the Awakened Inquest facility. Oh. This is the part where you're at the beginning, I think, when you're all entering, and then there's 2 capture locations, or there's a few capture locations
before you fight the golem.
Yeah, before you fight the huge golem thing.
Okay, so people were doing the same thing they were doing at the Watchtower and Frostgorge. They were just clumping
telling
around
people to
outside of the
Yeah, that's you know, when people start doing that, you know, that's gonna stamp down on that.
Kind of sucks.
Like I totally get the whole, like, I understand people want devs to let people play the game the way they want to play, but when you are purposefully like gaming mechanics like that to over spawn enemy types, that's not intended. And every time this is gonna happen, it's gonna get stopped. So the only problem I have is like if they start having enemies not give XP, because that tends to be one of the things that comes along with not dropping loot. And anything that is any of the stacking sigils, any traits or abilities that trigger on kill require the target to give you XP when they die. So one of the key things for a lot of Condi Firebrand builds, which is what I've been playing, is the one that when you get a kill, you reset Virtue of Justice. And if you don't get XP for the kill, you don't get the ability. So
Yeah, I've noticed that on when I made my burn Firebrand build thing, and when I would come across those, I was like, well, this kind of shoots in the foot. And that, and like you're saying, that's the worst part, is it's not. I feel like that should never be an issue. Like, my build is contingent on if I'm getting XP, rather than what it's saying is you are killing something. I killed something. But the way they have to categorize is by getting XP. So yeah, I've always disliked
just the hook, the event that they hooked onto for the trait, which I mean, it's really the only way for the game to really know without coding a specific way to say, hey, you killed something.
Yeah.
So can I walk around with like a bunch of like tomes and or the experience scrolls and be like, haha, more fire?
Except for the fact that at level 80 you can't use them.
Oh. Well.
I'd rather kind of just scale the mobs to like have more health or something.
It's one of those things where they're going to have to adjust the actual rewards for the event, because like QED is saying, is the only reason the meta was worth anything was flubbing the numbers with this. So, and it's honestly, I don't think we're going to see Corna be worth anything, because this has been the constant refrain every time we've talked about it ever since it released, is that it's just not worth it to stay in there. So I don't think we're really going to ever see it get fixed, but I really do hope that they take a lot of the lessons learned here and moving forward.
Well, we say that, but I feel like we say that about every Living Story map. It just seems like people just leave it, except for what's Jogadon. What's it called?
Commodon.
Oh, Palawadon.
Palawadon. Sorry, I used the wrong part of his name.
So Estan.
But yeah, like people would, I think, still tend to farm the crap out of that one for the most part.
Yeah.
But it just seems like most of the maps, it's just like it's there for the. It feels like the content does have like a 2-week life cycle still, just because after that 2 weeks, if it's not a good farming map, it just kind of dissipates.
Yeah. And it's I think Bitterfrost Frontier is still okay. I'm not sure, but every time I go there, there's still quite a few people. And it kind of goes back to the issue I was talking about. Every Living Story has a new map, so it's just going back to that topic again. And
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either. I've expressed that countless times. So
yeah.
You watch any streamer working on a legendary, it's either Istan or Silver Race farm. Yeah, that's usually the two I've heard of. I mean,
like even during peak times when I was in Draconis Mons, I love that map. That map's I think that map is great.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Nope. It's only when like something like Aurora is going to be done again. That's when people are going to flip back to those rounds. But otherwise, it'll slowly dissipate over time.
Well, that Krista was just mentioning that you've even got stuff like the smoke scale from Heart of Thorns is locked behind an event.
Unless something changed, but that's what Dolphy told me.
To be honest, Rangers don't need that pet. That pet is super annoying.
You just don't like it because you don't like Rangers.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't like Rangers with smoke scales more. So
she just wants all her pets. That's really about it. But
yeah,
that's okay.
That's fair.
Laughs in rapid fire.
That's another thing for another time.
It's okay. I started playing a Condi Trapper build in Unranked just in the off season, and it makes thieves cry. It makes me laugh a lot.
At least I can counter that somewhat. But anyway, yeah, it's just going back to that whole issue with maps. I personally think you shouldn't have to add a map every single episode. like maybe every two or
Well,
three.
unfortunately, they don't change maps anymore, so they can't.
This
You
is
know.
this is the problem with time locking things.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It bothers me.
Make a
I mean,
living story event where we get a bunch of mesmers to break the time lock.
Well,
Put the time lock in canon.
so the thing that I had, like, you could totally release a map because
Yeah,
this is getting way off topic, but you could, with the way that Path of Fire is now designed. Hi, Taryn. The way Path of Fire is designed, you can release a map because the maps are much broader now since mounts were introduced into the game, and you can have it just be like, this seems kind of small for a new release, and then the next bit of the story unlocks another section of the map. So like the one zone continues to expand, kind of like Dry Top did.
I was just gonna say, what if they had like a living story where it was like, this is gonna be the living story map, and maybe, like you're saying, it either breaks off and has a little bit more, or maybe they are willing to be like, all right, it's getting destroyed in this episode or something, and maybe at the end of that it gets time locked into that if that's what they have to do. But
yeah, it's getting annoying that I have all of these maps that just basically don't exist for any reason other than for the story, and then that's it.
I totally forgot Dry Top was like that, and it was like that for like what, 3 episodes?
Yep.
And I wouldn't mind it being like them making things to manipulate, destroy the terrain or something, because I think that's one thing I liked about one of the many times that Lion's Arch got attacked was, especially during the Scarlet one, where it was like, it's like, no, the one nook and cranny that I liked, like in the wall, it's like now it's destroyed and there's rubble in front of it. Darn you, Scarlet. It's now personal.
Well, that's the thing, Mofongo, is they have those zones where it's just like, you're not allowed to have mounts here. They just slap that somewhere and bye. Shit, I run into that. I run into problems with that when I'm trying to fly around on my Griffin in the heart of the mists. It's just a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I just, I don't know. I just don't agree with I don't agree with spreading population so much that way.
Yeah, and especially it's like you said, I think it'll be more evident when they inevitably release the next legendary trinket thing or whatever the next thing is that's going to make people go back to all the maps if they try that again, which I felt like it was a success, so I wouldn't imagine they wouldn't do it. But it's like you almost had to follow a schedule, otherwise there was not enough people because you weren't on that schedule, which kind of shows that we kind of really stretched it thin. But
show your butt.
Spin.
Yeah. Thanks, Tubbs.
Any final thoughts on the living world bit?
Nope.
Some slight tweaks to World v. World. So, shield generators now block all attacks from other siege weapons. Racial summon skills they fixed a bug that allowed players to recast racial summon skills and have more active summons than intended. Ooh, whoops.
Oh man.
The Misfire Wolf fixed a bug that allowed players to recast this skill and have more Misfire Wolves summoned than intended. So yeah, it seems like there's a problem with summon skills all across the board. Now, did that carry over to like minion mancers?
No, it was just a Misfire Wolf. Because it's one of those skills that nobody really cares about on the dev team, much like racials. So, although that would have been
my Revenant asks one question: what's a racial?
Exactly. That's one of the things that I would have laughed at if you saw like just 5 or 6 humans and it's just like a pack of Hounds of Balthazar. Like when I first read that patch note, I was just like, did somebody just like multi-summon Hounds of Balthazar everywhere? Because that would have been awesome to see.
Yeah. I would like Yeah, that'd be super fun. All right. Anyway, um, I wonder if that worked with Thieves Guild. I think about it.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Probably not. I don't know, because it seems like it. Yeah, because
Well, I think later on, didn't they mention something about? Yep. So it did work with. We'll get to it, but it apparently worked with Thieves Guild. But Edge of the Mist increased the size of the Mist's arena, and siege equipment can no longer be placed in the Mist arena. So little small tweaks, but
makes sense. Oh man.
I don't know. Throwing around ballistas in the arena would have been pretty funny.
No.
It's just like, hey, that guy's on the edge. Knockback shot. Boom.
Oh, dear Lord.
Fractals. Some Mistlock singularities have been moved in the following fractals to be more convenient, like Molten Boss, Snowblind, Twilight Oasis, Uncategorized, Underground Facility, Urban Battlegrounds, and Volcanic. So, what were people worried about the lineup or something? And it was, I guess, at higher levels, it could be paired with the which one.
I guess it's just better locations. I would imagine it's just better locations on the path that you're going.
Yeah,
and
because some of the
just not out of the
singularities
way.
are kind of like tucked in a nook that you'd have to spend like 10 or 20 seconds to go out of your way off the like main line of the.
Yeah. So like, I think Molten Boss one was at like the top of a tower. So now I would imagine it's like right before the boss. You just go to the corner. It's like, yeah.
I mean, I figure it's probably a better design game-wise because you already have to unlock the mastery to use them in the first place. So
yeah, I guess because I'm thinking of, I think it's the uncategorized one where it's like the multiple mashups. Like you start on the, I forget the names of them, but you start with the one that's like the Colossus, and you kind of work your way through. Is that the uncategorized one?
No, that's Chaos. Uncategorized Isura one with the cat golems.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was thinking because I've noticed sometimes where it's like the singularity will be over there, like off to the side, and then like some people would literally fall trying to get back to the main spot. So
Problematic.
Yeah, well.
But
however, that last note, oh my god, I've never actually done it with those kind of instabilities, but I'll let Deo read it.
Players will no longer gain Flux Bomb, and enemies will no longer gain Last Laugh. Oh boy. In the underground facility fractal near the plates puzzles.
Oh, Jesus, that would be terrible.
That does not sound fun.
Anything that prevents you from standing on those plates is just the worst goddamn thing. Also dealing with the dredge and their knockbacks and stuff, because like, ugh, no thank you.
I don't know. That sounds like challenge mode.
So there are some things that are challenging, and then there are some things that are just oppressive. Release Scourges, for example.
I don't know. I like the idea.
Stealth. Yeah, Savage. That's not a bad idea.
Professions. So, some tweaks for the professions: engineer turrets. Fixed the bug that could prevent an engineer's overcharged skill from working if the engineer was immediately airborne upon placing the turret. Yikes. In a game about movement and during combat, that could be a big problem. Mortar kit fixed the bug that removed this bundle when it was equipped in Queen's Gauntlet arenas. Bring it on. Where did my... Give me 1 sec.
That's
amazing.
Feels really bad.
Revenant Citadel Bombardment reduces the burn duration per hit from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. Nice. Thief, and this is what we were talking about earlier. Thieves Guild fixed the bug that allowed players to recast thief summons and have more thieves summoned than intended. Why didn't the Necromancer get that? I want an army of the undead. I want to go to Or with my own army. Like, this is mine now. I think you muted yourself there.
That's why you have to kill stuff really fast, so you can summon more minions off of the minions when you kill things.
But you can only have so many up at a time unless you had that bug.
Yeah. Really, I kind of wish Necros had Guild Wars 1 minions. It'd be so much better.
I don't know. Like, I look at Minion Mancer stuff, and I'm like, I want this to work, but
Have you seen Guild Wars 1 Minion Mancer though? Okay.
I played it.
I loved Guild Wars 1 Minion Mancer.
So
People are
much-
like, people being rude to people, and it's like, I just go in and die, and they have to deal with all my crap when I die.
It's so good.
Oh, that explains it. Because they're
Oh,
flip
because-
spells. That's why the Necker didn't get it.
Oh, darn.
Mm.
Necros never get anything good. Thanks about Scourge. Scourge working as intended. Any other thoughts on the patch itself?
No, I don't think there's anything that's really significant coming up. I mean, we got an update on World War Z a little bit later. I think it was early last month. Well, late last month. PvP we haven't heard about in a while, so that'd be kind of interesting. So maybe by next season or
We
something.
might. There's a Chrono Phantasma bug, Savage. I can't even remember what. Is that the one that does the Phantasm into double clone? God, I can't remember. You'd think
Yeah.
that my Chrono play, I would have remembered this.
Yeah, I'm just thinking there's nothing really huge or significant coming up that I can remember. So
Chrono Phantasma is the Phantasm resummons itself.
That's
Wait.
convenient. Well, next up we have, and we were talking about it during the pre-show, the weekend Boss Blitz Bonanza. So, did they announce it on Thursday, or did they announce it on, I think they announced it on Thursday, but basically from Friday, August 10th to Monday, August 13th, they're going to be tracking how many bosses everybody slays in the Festival of the Four Winds Boss Blitz event that we've been talking about, previously. And they did say that if we reached 5,000 kills, the participants, and you only have to participate in one, so if you haven't done it, definitely do so. But if you hit 5,000, they were going to give out celebration boosters and Zephyrite supply boxes. And boy, oh boy, did people crush it, because apparently earlier today, if you're watching this live on Saturday, we already hit the 5,000. And so they have actually raised the bar to 7,500. Heck, by the way we go, by the end of the podcast, it might actually be broken.
So let's see when this start. 8 a.m.
Yeah,
This
keep
is
refreshing it and let us know if we'll have the scoop.
I mean, if they
11,
did, 5,000 in
24 hours about.
hours, they're going to do another 2.5 in 12 if the rate keeps up. So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to look. I was gonna say, I don't think they mentioned when they're going to reward it. I'm gonna guess after the Monday event. We'll probably get it at Tuesday when they, do what little updates and stuff. And
probably
that would be my guess, but I don't think they've made any mention of it. But they're probably gonna wait till after the Monday, August 13th moment, if I were a betting man. But
risk taking, man.
Shouldn't they be promoting that in game at least? I think. Well, if people were actively doing it, I think a lot of people will be talking about in game about organizing and stuff. Maybe that's how they thought they would get around. But they put out a blog post, they put it on Twitter, but yeah, they didn't advertise it.
Yeah, I would like to see their like little like when they used to do that for like the PvP tournament, like they have the little side thing and you click on it and
they don't do it for the weekend bonuses either, right?
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think.
Yeah, they kind of well, they like for World versus World, like I don't think they sent in mail in game or anything like that. That'd be kind of nice though.
I don't know.
To do it.
I don't know, Mithrin. I don't think they're making the numbers up. Like when if we are going to give you extra rewards for doing a thing that you were probably already doing, the player base is going to jump on it.
And I was gonna say it's what 6 bosses in a matter of how long does an event usually take? Like even if we say the maximum time, how long's the?
No, like there's no time limit.
I thought there was.
I don't think so, because like it goes from like you have gold, you have silver, bronze, and then it's like you have the time. You have a timer to get those rewards, and then at some point you just get like the bronze rewards, and you just kill the bosses.
Okay, and yeah, I know, chat, that there's a lot of variables of like the group dynamic, strategy, and so organize 6 to 7. Well, let's just even say like
15, I would say.
Yeah,
like
15 minutes if it's and that's just one map. So there's an unlimited amount of. I don't know if we have a limit of how many maps can be created. I mean,
5 hours.
Oh jeez.
Oh man.
Anything. Oh jeez. Yeah, that's. You're right, Dave. I was like, at what? Player cap on a map is 250.
Yeah. Well,
and with a several million player base, I mean, even if you have maybe 25% of the player base working towards boss blitz, I mean that's still several 100,000 people.
Let's see.
And this is global, so
yeah, I was gonna say this isn't just like NA or EU or
it's literally everyone playing the game right now. So 5,000, it's really like there's 6 bosses, like you were saying, 6 bosses to event, anywhere from 6 to 7 minutes to 5 hours. Oh, that just sounds really painful. But yeah,
reminds me of like old EQ days.
Ugh. Hey, at least ArenaNet isn't resetting the health of enemies that we're not supposed to kill.
Yeah.
Not
yet.
But yeah. That's kind of the problem. Too many people, and scaling is kind of the problem with this. People generally, like, people don't care. Unless it's like an
I want to get my own. I don't care about everybody else. Like, and yeah,
unless it's like an organized attempt, everyone's on board. Generally, if it's on an organized one, people just go kill the boss or go where the tag is, and they just kill things.
Yeah, they'll see like who's at the lowest health or something, be like, "Oh, I'm gonna run in and get that one."
Yeah. And I honestly feel like 5 to 10 is kind of low in terms of scaling.
Yeah, especially for something like that, where if it, depending on how many it can hold,
it can hold a lot of people. Like each section, totally.
I mean, heck, I remember the first time the event came out doing. There were easily like 30 or 40 people per boss on some of the maps I was on, like some of the peak times, and it was still maybe 10 minutes for the whole event to trigger through. We still got gold on it, whatever the gold timer is.
Yeah, so it really, I think that's something that they have to look into for next year, because yeah, sometimes the map will be barren, but sometimes the map will be like huge, so like filled with people. So more leeches on the other hand, yeah, that also, I feel like that's more of a proximity thing as well. Oh, well, or maybe they should have something in place better that, if you're hitting it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that they can do.
Though we were talking about like during pre-show and stuff, is like what and you kind of hit upon it right there, Age, is like, what do you feel like they need to do or maybe address for maybe next year, since they are trying to make this an annual, well, make Boss Blitz an annual thing, not necessarily this weekend event, but it would be great if they did.
I think actually one of the bigger issues was that people were trying to organize, like at the very first week, people were trying to organize for like gold runs and things like that. And, you know, a lot of people didn't like the mentality, the elitist mentality of it going in. But I think they kind of solved that somewhat with the boss event thing that they have going, because, you know, it promotes people, oh, let's group up together, let's get these kills, you know, because the faster you kill those bosses, the more resets you get to actually, you know, kill more bosses.
I will never comprehend this thought that, you know, you have to, you know, respond to boss mechanics in the open world with certain ways of gameplay. Like, that's the whole point of gameplay, is like you respond to the way the enemy acts. If someone else is saying, hey, you need to do this thing, like, hey, you need to kill Boom Boom's healing turret before you go back to DPSing Boom Boom, because she'll just heal right through everything. Like, I had flashbacks of people not swapping to that when we talked about the whole like elitist attitude the last time, because I remember being with a group and I was like one of 3 people that swapped to the turret, and I'm like, hey, we need people to kill the turret, and they're like, no one paid attention. And it's like, I'm saying this
Health bar.
It's tunneling. It's
bad when my minions get onto the turret before they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this is not elitism. This is not like yelling at people that you need to have a certain build to do this. This is just saying, hey, we need to do this, or we'll not actually we won't actually finish the event unless you do this thing. So
yeah, it's not to the extent of the idea that comes from raids where it's like, you pick this meta build, you run like this. It's take whatever build you want, but know the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, it's
open world Guild Wars 2 in a nutshell. It doesn't matter what your build is, as long as you're not dying.
Yeah.
Arena, you really needs to put a tutorial at the very beginning about defiance bars. Like, just have one normal enemy that people have to fight. It's like, have some random NPC come, that person has a defiance bar, and it goes into a simple explanation what that is. It's like using heavy crowd control or something. I don't know, anything like that. Something.
That's a good idea that Monica has. Boss Blitz is a good place to train new commanders. It's literally a good training wheel. It's literally a wheel.
Oh God.
Yeah, we got it.
Get out. I do remember seeing a lot of people buying their commander tag the last time this was up. But then again, I think that was because they announced that, you know, the commander tag was going to be 300 gold after after match. But
I find events like these promotes commanders pretty much, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know we were talking before the show about like if they maybe hopefully do something like this next year, almost doing like a tier structure of like, you know, 5K. People get this 7.5K. It'll unlock this, you know, these things, and almost like a Kickstarter, you know, or an event thing where it's like you get more and more stuff, the more incentive, and so it's more incentive to go in there and at least do your one, and then you know, maybe stay for more.
I'm going to address QED's point, is that people don't read tooltips. That's literally any MMO. I just, the number of times I ran into people in World of Warcraft when I played that who didn't know what a skill did or interactions between skills. I just, like, people, Rangers using Longbow 4.
I'm guilty of that in WoW. I play a rogue. I know like what 2 skills do. I just press all the buttons.
I'm a paladin main and I know what rogues do. What's wrong with you?
I don't really play WoW much, so
that's a fair point. I played WoW a hell of a lot more, but it's just I don't know, like people just want to use an ability and kind of think about how it works. And it's like, no, just read the, you don't need to know the damage numbers.
I was gonna say, it sounded like
No.
Age didn't want them to make it so you had to read the tooltip. It's gonna be voice acting the tooltip. That's the next step to gaming. We did voice
No.
acting the quest, voice acting the tooltip. Like, look at that guy over there. He looks pretty tough. We better use some crowd control effects to, deal with them.
That's different. That's a mechanic that could be based off on any profession. What Malthas is talking about, like specific.
Oh yeah, but I was talking about your whole like teaching people the defiance bar.
Well, they can teach people the defiance bar the same way they teach people the dodge roll in the opening areas.
Just have a ring of spikes and around a chest. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, I guess.
CC the spikes.
No, it's just you have a dummy or like a box or something, and it takes 0 damage, but it has the defiance bar because there's a bunch of shit like that in either Heart of Thorns or Path of Fire where it takes 0 damage, but you have to CC it. The buff debuff bugs in Tangled Depths, the ones that either laser you or laser the chalk, that they take 0 damage, but you have to CC, you have to break bar them to kill them.
Okay.
Like that. Or the clams in Ember Bay, like Savage is talking about. Like you have to use CC on them. And there you go. Like now you know. And it just pops up a little tooltip like they do with the dodge, the spike training.
Yeah.
And it's just like if you see a blue bar and like the little pulsing arrow thing, you have to use CC skills. Stronger CC skills like stuns and dazes do more damage to the blue bar than slows and chill. There. Done.
And I have heard like what Chad is kind of bringing up about, like I think even talked about it last week, of it's like the LFG for boss Blitz is kind of insane and all over the place.
I would imagine, yeah.
The LFG in Guild Wars 2 is both nice and terrible at the same time.
Yeah. I feel like it gets messier with more maps that they keep adding. So.
The LFG tool right now is what the Summon Stone in World of Warcraft was in vanilla.
With Summon Stone?
Oh my god, I realize I have to explain
Wait.
this.
You mean like the dungeon summoning stones or like the
Yes.
warlocks?
The dungeon summoning stones. The big pillar with the Hearthstone icon outside of every vanilla dungeon.
Yeah.
It was an LFG channel that you had to walk up to interact with in order to post your group.
Wait, you had to walk.
Yes, you had to walk to the dungeons, and then you had to post your group in the LFG using the summoning stone, and then you would need at least 2 people to channel
click on the portal
stones to summon the person to you. The Guild Wars 2 LFG system is only slightly better than that.
Oh, I remember those days where it's like, did you get the notice? It's like, no. Did someone thought we were done? Because it wouldn't be like an instant like, okay, 3 people clicked on it. Okay, we're sending the alert. It'd be like 3 people had to channel it for like maybe 5 seconds. But then there was always that one person like, yeah, it's been about 4 seconds. Okay, I'm done. It's like, where you go? No, we didn't summon them. Like,
we have to summon them.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that's.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, Zach, we haven't even talked about that. We were too busy talking about vanilla WoW summon stone mechanics.
Well, I mean, we kind of stemmed off it from the looking for group channel itself, but yeah.
And it's honestly, Savage brings up a good point. It needs drop-down menus instead of just the accordion thing and just adding more maps to it.
Yeah, I would like to see if there's like any kind of update, since isn't it still technically in beta? Like,
No, it's out of beta.
Oh, it's out of beta? Okay.
The beta tag.
Then there's no.
The
Okay.
beta tag actually disappeared mid Heart of Thorns.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just didn't pay attention because nothing really changed from
But
going from beta to non.
There's another thing that's the problem with them introducing new maps with every Living Story update is the LFG tool basically becomes useless again.
Yeah, just like sort it by living story at that point. Like each season. Like,
but yeah, Zachariax does bring up a good point. You really only need one commander. Unless like the commanders are working off the every different color tag is a different group. But that requires the commanders to be talking to each other, and I don't know if that's a thing that happens.
It depends on if it's like I'm sure a guild sponsored one or a,
Right.
Yeah, just move. Just have one commander and have each. You have, and since you're technically 50 people, you have 10 people in 5 subgroups. There you go.
Mhm.
And then, like, I guess there's 6 bosses now, so I guess whoever finishes first goes to the next boss, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's this game. Like, I will say that this is the only MMO where I have seen map chat actively used for the benefit of everybody on the map, not just for trolling. Like, the odds that I actually saw people talking in map chat in World of Warcraft were nil for most of the time I played the game. And that's the QED also brings up a good point as well. A lot of people just like, I'm gonna go to the tag, and that's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what I did 20 minutes ago.
You are part of the problem.
And the only problem is, unlike, say, because I remember there was a point in time where people tried to Zerg Auric Basin.
Yeah.
Boss Blitz isn't going to be up unless it's going to be 3 weeks every year. Boss Blitz isn't going to be up long enough for people to, the general populace to really get it into their heads. It's like, no, we need to split up, and everybody needs to do everything evenly. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And Mofongo, you have a pretty big point there. Is redoing intro areas to explain better stuff.
Yeah.
But time and people wanting new maps. Whereas, I think everybody here on the podcast right now is just like, we don't need a new map every
episode. Yeah.
Like, you can go back and fix other stuff. It's fine.
Yeah. I would like a new profession, a new race, but it would have to be like expansion. Like, you would need to own this expansion, because if you just add it, it wouldn't work with core, just because of the way core works.
Dwarf. What?
Far over the misty.
Look, no, don't.
For legal reasons, no, not like those dwarfs.
Oh.
Don't start singing that, because then it'll get stuck in my head. Then I'll hum it. Then Crystal will be singing it for the rest of the night.
To dungeon.
Anyway.
And caverns.
And now you're gonna get us copyright struck on the YouTube on the.
Not if I do it 10 seconds at a time.
We're playing with fire here. You can make a new race work if it's Tengu. I mean, I felt like we've talked about this before. It's just, I really don't know.
It's very tricky with Tengu, just because they were isolated pretty much.
You're always gonna have that weird thing. You're gonna come out of the thing, and it's just like, hey, we're fighting Zaitan. It's like, but they weren't part of the conflict.
Yeah, it's really weird with Tengu, just because they were so isolated. They were an isolated race. Pretty much, they kept to themselves for the most part.
There were a couple Tengu in core.
Yeah, there were a couple.
I guess the story would be that you're one of the ones that left through the gate, but
yeah,
that almost has that Mist of Pandaria feel to me, where they had to wedge it in there. I felt like that was just so shoehorned into.
Well, it was.
Well, yeah. So,
I just, new race would be like, I would love it. I don't know if it'll happen, because then it's a lot of money, and then we're definitely not getting a lot of new armor skins, because that's another race that they have to design armor skins for.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, it unfortunately, I don't think it'll ever happen, sadly.
But I don't know.
They're part of core story, but not in the way that a Tengu would be part of core story.
Boss Blitz. Are we done?
Oh, yeah. I mean, any final thoughts on Boss Blitz itself?
Nope.
All
Go
right.
kill
Well,
bosses. Free stuff.
yeah. Make sure to do it this weekend if you can. And I think it was Monica that was saying in chat with Monica, Games, Love and Life, and Zacharyox, where what you guys said you were going to do it at 7 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely check that out if you're here live. If not, that's, it pays to shop live. Literally, it'll get you some boxes possibly. Speaking of getting paid, if you have the skills, you can. I don't know where I was going with that. ArenaNet Job Openings.
Well, technically, if you have the skills.
Yes. But ArenaNet Job Openings. So they are apparently looking for a writer/narrative designer. The responsibilities are drive and or assist in the creation and development of IP, story, and character arcs in collaboration with other disciplines. Write in-game dialogue, setting or adopting established tone and distinct character voices. Write supporting documentation to effectively communicate development of the narrative to team members in all disciplines, and design and work with various systems for conveying story in an interactive world, including environmental props, character interactions, and systemic dialogue. So, are you applying right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep going.
But also the other one is the story editor. Responsibilities: partner with the narrative design lead, aka lead writer, and project leads to facilitate the creation and development of IP, story, and character story arcs in collaboration with other disciplines. Drive story breaking sessions with project leadership and host workshopping sessions in a writer's room setting, and act as developmental editor to provide structural feedback and dialogue revisions for story scripts. So, and just so people know, if you are applying for this kind of thing, both positions are full-time on site at the studio in Bellevue, Washington. So
I was going to say, with the project misspeaking that you did for project, I think this job needs less projecting. I don't know. Like, one of these jobs is, honestly, both of these jobs are big shoes to fill. Zacharyox is right that they are both jobs are kind of big deals, especially since this is a very narrative driven game.
Yeah.
So,
and it seems like a lot of people, it seems like the last couple of months, a lot of people are really focused on story driven content, or just how story is being developed. I know there was some recent stuff with WoW as well. So I'm like, it's kind of an important role to fill right now.
definitely. Yeah. So, when I was actually reading this, I forget her Guild Lores that usually does SOTD's podcast. Like, I thought she was in the Bellevue area, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I hope she actually applies for this, because I think would be a great. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I thought she was. I could be like, this is me just.
I know
when there was.
it is.
Okay.
Well, not Bellevue, but Washington.
Well, in the area, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for anyone, if you got the ability to, and you're in that area or willing to move, but maybe apply for the job first. Don't just move out there and go, hopefully you give me a job. But
I want Aaron to apply. I think
there you go, Aaron. Go for it.
He would make the story very interesting.
Oh no,
there'd be a lot more snarkiness.
Would he just be in charge of Canuck?
Just give him Canuck.
But I do want to stress, make sure you have the requirements for it, because I know this tends to happen a lot in like these types of companies where, fans will just apply because yes, it would be a dream job of a lifetime, but it's one of those mentalities of, not we all think we could make a great game, but if we don't have the skills for it, I'm going to show you my one skill of making dogs be quiet. So take it away.
Yeah, there was one question. Games on the Left and Zekats asked. They were wondering if the lack of anyone in this position delays the next episode. I think I remember reading somewhere that the next episode was kind of mostly done anyways. So I had that fear of a delay as well. But it seems like they're already ready to go with the next one, and this is kind of, I think we're on episode 4 next, so like episode 5 is going to be starting to work on pretty soon, if not already. I don't think there'll be a huge delay if there's any.
If they were already near like the end of a design cadence when the firings happened, then there might be a slight delay in getting people up to speed after they fill the positions, but it's entirely possible that the people who fill these positions aren't going to start work until until a major clip happens, because it's not like the thing with narrative is the story, or at least the major story beats, can be written out and storyboarded for a long time in advance. It's mostly getting the game mechanics to flow around the story that takes the bulk of the effort, and then specific changes to the story in order to make everything fit properly. Yeah. And like one of the things they've said is that they had wanted to destroy Lion's Arch like in the first 6 months of the game. So the major story beats for the entirety of Guild Wars 2 could very easily already be planned out.
Yeah, in terms of the next episode though, but it should be okay. I'm kind of like Mofong said, they probably have like interim people working in those positions until they get those positions filled. So
or they're just going to promote internally and then have those. Like it's one of those things where it's like, even if they promote from internal into those positions, they still have to post the jobs. Because I know a lot of HR departments work like that, is even if they're considering taking someone internally, unless it is explicitly necessary that someone is promoted from internal, they still have to post them publicly if that's just the way the company is structured.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And usually they'll do that by internally. It'll be posted like a week in advance before it goes out to the job searching sites. And
yeah, so unless they say anything, which they'll will, because they did last time, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the job openings?
Be interesting to see who fills the positions.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that. Is that guy from For Honor still there?
I haven't heard him leaving, but yeah, we don't see enough of him.
Yeah, give me someone like that.
I was so happy with that screen, the
cowboy hat.
Well, I was so happy with the image that I made for the thumbnail. It was basically the War v World, the guy that's standing. I think it might actually. I don't know. It's that guy that's just standing there with like the Hounds of Balthazar next to him or something like that, like getting ready for a fight. Cropped his face in there. It looks so awesome. I want just more of him, so I can, like. But anyway, totally for selfish reasons.
Of course.
I just want to use that thumbnail again. It was awesome. I loved it. But yeah. So, if you know someone that's maybe, in that industry, let them know. Oh, you know of a prominent narrative designer from another game just for fun? Who would you want?
Ooh, that is a good question.
And chat, if you have any ideas.
Oh, that is a really good question.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
Whoever is working at Santa Monica Studios. I would need to look up the narrative lead for God of War 4, but yeah, that guy. That person.
Peter Molyneux. He's very good at weaving stories.
No. Fenris? No.
Hideo Kojima.
Fenris wants Kojima, of course, because the question was asked, would you want, like, just for fun, who would you want if you could get any? No, Fenris.
As much as I love convoluted storytelling, that would be a bit too much. It's like, let's get Kojima and Yoko Taro together. That would be great.
Next, if we get Hideo Kojima, next mount is we hide in a box in a crate.
Wow.
That's kind of damn.
Kojima and Yoko Taro. Ugh.
I would probably get someone from Naughty Dog, to be honest.
Who's doing the Tomb Raider games?
Square.
People at Square are pretty good. So, Metal Guild Wars 2: Sons of Fire. No, stop it, Fenris.
That's a sick title, though. I won't lie. God, I could just imagine. Oh no, I'm just imagining how opening, like, we'd have a 15-minute opening scene for the next Looping episode.
That's a good point, QED. That's how you're gonna win me over. I don't care your skill level or anything. If you're telling me Abaddon might be coming back, I'll be like, I'm on your side.
I would. Well, if we're gonna get like a story, I would like Ari Salvatore. That would be pretty sick.
I don't know if he wants to work with video games anymore after the
I know
Reckoning debacle.
I know, but like if he did, that'd be so cool. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I would love Salvatore, or like Gaiman, or like any of the big name authors.
Fantasy Rise, yeah.
Let's get George R. R. Martin in there, clean up the roster a little bit.
No. Don't need that.
Never see dragons though.
Look,
5 years.
I'm gonna quote Epic Rap Battles of History for Tolkien versus Martin. Of course, it's unrealistic. The genre is called fantasy. I don't mind people surviving through crazy shit. No, Mofongo, we're not bringing Shyamalan.
Yeah, no.
Okay, can we go to Gem Store now? Because now I'm getting scared at these potential story things.
I'll go on a rant if we continue at this point.
All right. Well, we'll save it for after show. So yeah, maybe you just nailed that job at ArenaNet. What better way? You get that first paycheck, spend it on some Gem Store. Speaking of Gem Store, thank you to Dolphy.net. Check out Dolphy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. First up, we have the Timekeeper's outfit for 700 gems. It is an outfit, so you can't hide the helm. You can, but it's basically all or nothing. It's not like mix and match armor or anything like that. But it's
that that is that's Maleficent 2.0 or something. I don't know.
It's like Maleficent and then Spider-Man got to her.
There are words that I want to say. I
Loki-esque,
just don't know how to form them. Loki-esque, yeah, that's true.
I could see. Yeah, I was gonna say this one's kind of like more dyed to like. I'd like to see a golden colored one because that could be kind of Loki-esque and.
Oh yeah.
I love, as per usual, parts of this.
It's like I like it. I like it if it's dyed right, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing is like finding, but.
Oh, it doesn't look good on Charlie.
It doesn't look good on a Surin.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Who scaled the horns up on the Char? I mean, seriously. Wow. This outfit's not for me, man.
Yeah, I kind of like on the human, like the kind of tattered draper. Yeah, the helmet, I just it's a bit much for me. It takes me back to almost like WoW. like
I love the particle effect clock faces on the bracers, how they're kind of like projected bucklers. That looks really cool. I would buy the bracers as like a heavy armor skin.
But technically, we could hide the helmet. So.
Yes, we can hide the helmet. Yes, but
I mean, if you like everything else and are willing to hide the helmet.
see, my only problem is it's hard for me to find a decent helmet in this game for any armor class.
Like the helmet's.
Yeah, but Zacharias, they're just
sure.
going for the field goal. Like it's a benefit because it's an illusion. It's like the target, so it draws their eye up and it throws their aim off.
Like I like the helmet if it's dyed properly. Like the gold dye kind of works. Like the yellow gold dye kind of works. It doesn't like maybe dark abyss could work as well, but like I feel like it just needs to be dyed the right way.
Yeah, unfortunately, none of the dye jobs are really super grabbing me. Like,
Yeah,
I think one of the bigger points that Delphi usually does is just make sure you know how many. Like,
channels. That's fine.
but yeah. So you can pick that up for 700 gems. Also, you get the Timekeeper Glider, which is 500 gems, and.
This is what happens when Maleficent.
Yeah, I would say so. Because and here's the Timekeeper Glider. It's
that's pretty boss.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but unfortunately it does the whole clicking noise. I think I've gotten annoyed by that because basically we've had the weapon set already that's basically this stuff. And I think every time you unsheath the weapon, it would do that like it started to get to me, and I actually changed that weapon. So, and I think the glider does it too. Dear God, I hope the armor somehow doesn't do it.
It's at the top of the helm.
Ugh.
Just a constant ticking of clocks.
But it does die nicely, like the kind of time part of it, the mystical time part. I don't know what it's called.
Like the particle effects look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree, Mofongo. It's like if it's your thing, it's cool. It's well made. I'll say that. Whether it's your Go ahead.
It's that the particle effects on the weapons can't change color to match the color you set for the glider or the armor.
Oh yeah, that'll go over great. Sending me a ticking clock in the mail.
Do you want him to show up dressed like Captain Hook on a show? Like seriously, like
don't say that. They'll say yes.
We'll
I don't have the money for that outfit. I would.
See,
I'll be close. Maybe this Halloween I'll track down a Macho Man. See, I told you.
Ooh yeah.
That might become everyday attire if I get one.
One of the jackets with the crazy.
Oh yeah. If I'm going, I'm gonna try to go all out. Like, I want the. Anyway, we're so off topic on that, but well, different outfits, all or nothing. Got to go all the way. Yeah. But
oh my God, Zach, you're worse than Deo with that one.
I love chat.
Engineer. Ugh, terrible.
Jim, it sounds like he's ticking you off.
I think it's time to move on.
Oh, why are we running out of time? Anyway, we are probably running out of time. So, and can you get this in a bundle? I'm not sure. I thought I heard some people saying there was a bundle version of this like where you get the outfit and glider.
Possibly. I didn't see it.
I'm not sure. Maybe chat knows. Because the next items they were saying were in starting in the bundles. Because in the past we've had the ones that were I forget what they were called. That were like kind of the immortal weapons.
The shiny
They've
one. chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, basically what chat's saying, the next things up, they're the Onyx and Gold Lion weapon skins. So on the left there, you have the Onyx weapons, and on the right, you have the Gold weapons. Basically, these are only available as part of gem store packages, similar to the Immortal weapons like we were talking about. So you basically, when you buy with some of these bundles, you will get these, you'll get an option to choose one of these.
It's literally literally whack people with a black lion chest.
Yeah.
That's the focus. Oh, that's hilarious. The hammer looks pretty boss.
Yeah, I kind of want one of the Onyx ones because it looks. They actually look pretty sweet. It looks like a panther rather than a lion, but.
Okay.
No, these are pretty high quality. I like these. You don't often get to see something that is that intricate, because you know it's kind of, you don't often want to spend a lot of design time on something that's relatively difficult to see.
Mm-hmm.
So these are really impressive to look at.
Yeah. They're expensive to get because they need exclusives. Like that,
Yeah.
I would get that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the Onyx set better just because it kind of does add a more distinct texture to them. Like it almost feels like because the gold ones are basically all gold, there's no intricacies. It doesn't look like there's as much intricacies, but
There's no contrast.
yeah, I think that's what's working against it, at least for me. But
Because we actually want the expansion. That's true. Yeah. And Onyx is technically better than gold.
Well, it looks like they just color swapped it.
Yeah, no, pretty much did.
Yeah, and the details on the Onyx set pop more because it's the lighter color used as the accent, not the darker color. So
maybe this is a hint for weapon dying.
It's not going to happen.
Or it's just a slap in the face to weapon dying. It's like, here, you want to swap out the two colors? Buy them twice.
As much as I would love to have weapon dying, like they'd have to overhaul underlying systems and then actually give items that don't have die channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just...
I wouldn't mind a sub fee actually. Like if there was the optional sub fee.
I've talked about it before. If it was something similar to Rift's fee or other free to play MMOs that had buy to play that had a subscription service, I'd probably sub for a bit, if not just let it roll.
Yeah, I've said in the past, if they would have came out with an optional sub that was basically, and this is what I liked about ESOs was. ESO, if you bought crowns at the lowest tier, it was 1,500 crowns for $15. Now that probably varies depending on region and all that stuff, pricing. But you would spend $15 a month for a sub. You would get the 1,500 crowns and then get faster XP leveling. Which honestly, by the time I went and got a sub, I didn't have all my characters were already maxed. So it's not like how SWOTOR was accused originally, where it was like they made it so you couldn't level in the zones. Like you would have to literally do every quest, and then I think eventually it caught up with you. But you need the sub. You really didn't need it for ESO, but it's like a lot of stuff was just icing on the cake apart from the crowns. So I would have liked to it's like $15 a month or 10 for easy math. $10 a month. Here's 800 gems off the bat, and maybe, whatever little perks,
boosters or something like that. Yeah,
but nothing game breaking of it guarantees you a black line key drop or something, or
I don't know. Black line key could be part of sweetening the deal on.
Well, maybe they give you one, but not increasing it so it's beneficial to farm something.
You get. Your however many gems, you get a one or a couple black line keys, some boosters. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but you know that's. But yeah, I know a lot of people are dead set on absolutely no sub whatsoever. But
Hmm.
anyway, that's kind of going off on that tangent. But yeah, so you can pick up the have a choice at some of those weapons if you buy some of the bundles in the gem store. Also, they brought out some Morgemoth dies. 1 for 125 gems, 5 for 500, and 25 for 2500 gems. Looks like we have the Abyssal, Forest, Arid, Jungle, Auric, Bloom, and I think the other one was like Night. It's kind of blocked by the Delphi logo. It's, I think, Night. I want to say Nightfall, but I know that's wrong.
To the internet.
Yeah, but I can do this.
Nightmare.
Nightmare. That's it.
Makes sense.
It was, yeah.
That doesn't look nightmare.
I don't know. Kind of like the green particle effect that Morgemoth uses. That I dig it. It's an accurate color. Don't buy these. Though, buy the auction house.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and that's the thing. We've always stressed these aren't like you get a guaranteed one of those. It's a pool of X amount, like 20 or whatever, of standard ones, and you have those in there. Really is just never worth it. Like,
let other people gamble.
Malfongo birthday gifts are when you made your character 6 years ago. So
well, yeah, but if
do we
they
know
would have
what they're going to put into it?
Yeah, because if you made it at launch, it's gonna be ticking over here, in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, the 25th, I think it was.
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know what they're putting into it. They're probably you have the back piece. You still have the option to get one of those. There's 3 more left, I think, to get, or 2 more. I don't remember. Dies, probably the usual boosters and stuff, and they'll probably give us another Insta to 60. I think at this time, Insta 60.
Yeah, but they stack now.
Yes.
The birthday scrolls that instantly take you to a level of by 10 it actually stacks. So well, we do not discuss leaks.
yeah, because we don't really, it's. But also on sale in honor of the anniversary stuff, Living World Season 2 Complete Pack for 640 gems, which is 50% off. Living World Season 3 Complete Pack for 720 gems, which is 25% off. That's pretty good deal. And and if it works like they always worked in the past, even with the sales, it will change the price depending on if you own any of the episodes. And so
nice.
If you don't have them, get them, because there are good rewards in there for your account. So
oh geez, Mofongo. Well, that's you're bringing up everything we've talked about in the past. Like, can you say this for episode 200 when we have to do like a clip show? Because you're literally like bringing up everything we've like, and I'd love to keep bringing it up, but
yeah.
But yeah, so definitely pick those up. Returning this week on sale, Royal Terrace Pass, ending soon, 600 gems, 40% off. The Captain's Airship Pass, 600 gems, also 40% off. Noble's Folly Pass, Lava Lounge, both at 600 gems. The Mistlock Sanctuary Pass Key, the Path of Fire Preparation Pack, ending soon, 2,800 gems, 61% off. Alonian Introductory Package, 1170 gems, 35% off. And Path of Fire Survival Package, 1,300 gems, 35% off. So, actual things that are on sale and not just for sale. I know that was always a sticking point for Inks, so
there you go.
He should be a happy camper.
Yep. Mistlock Sanctuary Passkey is something that a lot of people say is great because, low grab stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd wait. Yeah, tomorrow for Miss Lock if you really want that, because that's the one thing that wasn't in there yet. So.
Oh,
And it'll probably be on sale.
Yeah, if anything, it's probably going to be around 600 gems if it's following the pattern of the other ones, which I have no reason why I would think it wouldn't.
I think I'm just gonna be okay with the Lily of Elon, to be honest, because like I already got one. Why do I need to buy another? I don't necessarily care about it, but that's me.
No, that's my problem too, because I've originally had the Royal Terrace Pass, then I got the Lily of Elon, and it's like, yeah, it's really hard for me to, like, convince myself to buy another one, especially one that's like, I agree, Mizlock Sanctuary Passkey is, like, that area is freaking cool looking. I love it, but it's just, yeah, I just couldn't
Trying to
justify
buying
it.
Yeah.
That an exchange program?
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any thoughts on the gem store? What do you think they have to do for the anniversary sale? Like, what do they need to put in the gem store? At hopefully a discount.
They have to.
Bunny ears.
Cat ears.
The bunny ears and the reading glasses.
Paper bag helmet.
They never even released it.
The perfect time, anniversary.
Ugh.
What is the 6-year anniversary paper? Come on. If it is, it's a sign.
Like, Deo, if anything, that's going to be released during Halloween. Like, it would
I'm looking up paper anniversary. When's the paper? Oh, it's the wait, no. Your first anniversary. Oh, I think the first anniversary is paper. Dang it, we missed it.
Yeah,
Guild Wars 3 will have paper bag helmets. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah, QD has pretty much summed up what I would like to see: bank tabs, shared inventory slots, character slots, bank expansions.
I feel like I'd probably buy the rest of my shared inventory slots, because as long as you get them, like, honestly, the best value for the shared inventory slots is to buy the largest pack of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also a fairly sizable drop of money, so your mileage may vary.
Yeah, I was to say I have not bought any shared inventory slots, but I just
That's super useful.
Yeah, I bet they're handy, but I just I remember the number of bank tabs was increased. That is true. I haven't bought the 2 more that they added.
I was gonna say, Deo, I thought you would have instantaneously bought those.
I just haven't been playing enough games in general to warrant any like prices in a game. Like, that's been my problem. But
curse this thing called being an adult.
I know. This is crap.
Yeah.
You know what's not crap? Community Corner.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it. And I saw chat talking about it earlier with a little bit of like Tarai Asa kills. Roka, I hope I'm not saying the name right. It actually made a Tarai Asa kill competition, and they made a little poster here that you can see here. But they're having some categories. Fastest kill, and this is for everyone. You can get Legendary Harpoon Frenzy, which is roughly around 2,000 gold. Legendary Spear, the Legendary Trident. What? Not like that?
Just didn't even try to say it.
I noped out of that one. And I was gonna try to skate over by not purposely saying the Trident, but you had to call me out on it. So
something like that.
The Kotaku spear. That's what that last part says.
Kotaku.
He teleports you just
Why
like
are
it.
you here?
He replaced the ogre.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Oh, I was confused. I was like, what's
I like how Taz interjects and it's like perfect for the situation.
She's dealing with Hableon. So
good old Hableon.
Habble.
But also a category of fastest kill. They say no pros. Oh, I guess that leaves me out. Legendary Greatsword Twilight. Category most creative build. So that's 1,000 gold. And it also leaves 1,500 gold left to be distributed among the second and third places for each competition to give some recompensation for the tickets they'll have to buy. So
Yeah.
Yay.
yeah, I thought nice little community event.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you have until like Tuesday, pretty much.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that is true. QED is right. It is all gambits. Like, so it's not like it just can.
Yeah.
I mean, these are
Also,
pretty big prizes. You can't just.
Yeah, I think you have to record your actual kill and then send the YouTube link to Roka. So I think most of the details will be in the Reddit link we'll post with the show. So.
Like, running out of tickets. That's not good.
I need to actually do a bit of that because I have a stack and a half from the first event still in my bank, and I figure I may as well just put them to use. Maybe I could revive my old build that was the AFK Guardian Hammer build. It was soldier armor and weapons, cleric trinkets, and the entire build was based on buffing sigils and healing yourself with sigils and healing when you buff someone, and literally walking up to something, pressing 1, and walking away from your computer. And then just auto attacking with the hammer until something died. I doubt it would work on this.
I don't know. Go for most creative build. Like, and you just gotta set it up so it makes it feel like the most creative build. You do that so you, like you said, you basically don't even have to man the thing. You just hit the first time and it does the attack, and then just pull out like a stake and just like that. Gotta make it look like it's a creative build. Call it the steak build.
Because
I'm making myself hungry.
Good job, Dale.
It's about that time of the show, isn't it? So
yeah. Well, that is it for Community Corner. And that looks like it is it for the week. So, Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MalthanusMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/MADRealms, 2 A's in the MAD, for Zero to Hero and Vote to Kick on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I am a terrible host, and I'm still trying to, figure out the whole uploading of Vote to Kick to YouTube, but I'm going to do that. Deo, do we have the link for that so we can ask people to vote on the topic for Vote to Kick?
Give
me a second.
Do not.
I've got it in my mail.
There you go.
Don't you laugh at me, Age.
I'm not. I'm laughing with you.
And what, at the tear in my eyes when you just were like, do you have a link? I'm like, I didn't. Was I supposed to?
I just didn't know if you had it on you. Invitation to edit, open in forms.
Just make sure it's not the predetermined one like last.
Yeah, the pre-filled one. Yeah.
But yeah, we're figuring it out. It's growing pains for.
Bam, link. We talked about loot boxes, which you'll be able to see whenever I finally upload the video.
Yeah. Maybe we'll let that go a little bit longer just so it can.
Yeah.
Since it's not really giving a lot of people time to. But we'll play it out by ear. Like I said, growing pains. We can always revisit situations too, or scenarios in time. But anyway, any other things, Jim?
No, that's about it. Join us for Vote to Kick this week. I need to finalize the topic and finalize a host because Arlie is not going to be available this week. So.
Awesome. Yeah, and we're gonna try to figure out a way to have people,
join in the fun.
Yeah, well, yeah, content people to kind of just sign up so we can have like a list or something. But anyway, that's all for stuff that we can talk about some other time. And Age, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at ANet Road. I started playing Monster Hunter yesterday. It's actually pretty fun. It's still a lot of systems I had to switch over from like console to keyboard because there's just a lot of growing pains there. I also got a media key for We Happy Few, so I'm might play that tomorrow if there's time because I have to hang out with someone. But yeah, probably
He
Monster
has
Hunter.
to.
Yeah, I kind of have to because I said I would. So I'll probably play some Monster Hunter tonight if some people are around. Otherwise, I'll just play We Happy Few tomorrow evening.
That's awesome. And you can find me at simply_Dale on Twitch and Twitter. Hopefully I find some time to stream. That's all I can say at this point. Hopefully once we get everything stable for Vote to Kick, I might have a little bit of a breather. But besides that, if you are just popping at the very end, do stick around. We do a bit of an after show. If you do want to watch us in full, we do highlight it on Twitch. But if you prefer YouTube, we put it up on YouTube. Just search. I almost said Talking Skritt. It's MAAD Realms, 2 A's and 2 A's in the MAAD and S at the end of Realms. And I think you can actually go to youtube.com/MAAD Realms. I think that's the user thing for it.
Let's find out.
I think maybe it's /C/MAAD Realms. But I think that's the official thing now. But anyway, and follow us on at MAAD Realms on Twitter and also at Talking Skritt if you just want the Guild Wars 2 news at Talking Skritt. But if you kind of want gaming stuff in general or anything like that, we're trying to do more stuff like that for at MAAD Realms. And yeah, I think that's all the spiel that we have to go through this week. Thank you everybody for coming out, and we'll see everybody next time. Bye.
Bye, friends.
Here, guys.